Hey guys, it's Miss Delcambre. So today is Thursday, December the 3rd, and here's a rundown of our day. So you'll need your journal, pencil, highlighter, and your notes on 18.1, which is choosing a bank. So make sure Builder 12 is getting done and getting turned in for tomorrow. We're going to watch an introduction to Module 18, the video. We're going to go over 18.1, choosing a bank, the notes. Today and tomorrow we're going to be going over banking and everything. So we have 2 days on that. And then I'm going to go over our writing check Google slide activity. Okay, so let's get to our 18.1 video. Module 18 is becoming a knowledgeable consumer and investor. This is kind of like our money math right now. So if you look at the lessons that we'll have, it's choosing a bank, protecting your credit, paying for college, and wages, salaries, and careers. So we're talking more about life skill math, things that you will deal with in real life every day when you become an adult. So let's click on our real world video.
Athletes are always using numbers. If you're a mixed martial arts fighter, you have to know your weight class and how to stay in it. If you're a diver, you need to understand how judges add up your score. And every ball player wants to know their stats. But one set of numbers all athletes and pretty much everybody else needs to use involves money. It doesn't matter how you make it or how much. You want to be able to use your money wisely and plan for the future. One of the most important things you need to do is save or deposit. Saving's important for making sure you have enough money for buying something you really want, going to college, or to help out in case something unexpected happens that you have to pay for. Great, thanks a lot. Even better, when you put your money in a bank account, you do more than keep your money safe. You actually make money because of something called interest. Interest is a percentage of the amount of money you have in the bank pays to you every month. Interest is also applied when a bank loans money. For every day you have the bank's money, they charge a percentage of the loan as a fee. That's one way banks and credit card companies make money. The more you borrow and the longer you take to pay it back, the more interest you pay. You need to be careful because paying interest means that you could end up paying a lot more than the original sticker price. And that's another reason math matters.
Okay, I'm going to minimize this one. And let's get to our journal. So here's our journal notes for today, choosing a bank, 18.1. So today is 12/3/2020. And we're going to talk about choosing a bank, basically talking about checking, credit, debit cards, and so forth. So comparing the cost of checking accounts and debit cards. You can withdraw money from your bank account in several ways. With a checking account, you write checks or you use a debit card to withdraw money. So hopefully when you all become somewhat of an adult, you will be getting a checking account and you'll be opening it up. And you can open it up at any of your local branches. When I say branches, I mean banks. There's several banks around in Lumberton. We talked about a few. We talked about there's Wells Fargo, there's Natchez, there's Do Good, Mobile Credit Union. Talked about the different banks that are in our area. Also at the high school, there's a Natchez bank inside the high school. So with checking accounts, you use that to write checks or you use your debit card to withdraw money. A debit card is a plastic card that you use to purchase goods and services. When you use a debit card, the money you spend is deducted immediately. So that's very important So to immediately from your checking account, or if you have a debit card for your savings account, it's deducted immediately. If you or your parents have like a banking app on their phone, say that they go to the gas station, they use their debit card, and they check their phone, then the amount is automatically deducted from their amount. And it may say on the thing on their app that says Walmart gas or Murphy's gas, $25, and that's what they spent. So when we talk about debit cards, there's an important thing that we're forgetting here. We're going to talk about a PIN. And a PIN is a personal identification number. Okay, and this is normally a 4-digit number. And it's just a security feature that they have to know that, hey, this is my card. I'm going to put in these 4 digits. Now I have access to my money. And you use a PIN if you're going to use a debit card, saying like at Walmart, you slide your card to pay for a gallon of milk, and it says, is it debit or credit? If you push debit, then you push your PIN in. When you go to the ATM and withdraw money, your parents will put their card in, and it will ask for their PIN. They put their PIN in. That's kind of like the safety code, password, so that they can access their money. Now let's talk about debit cards. Okay, sorry. Where were we? Okay, now, credit cards and debit cards look very much similar. However, there is a difference. So a credit card is a plastic card just like a debit card that you can use to purchase goods or services. Using a credit card is like getting a loan. So it's like borrowing money from that credit card company. All right? You pay for the purchases later when you receive a monthly bill. So you pay later with a bill, and you also may pay interest on the balance. So you don't pay it off, you're going to pay interest. And that monthly bill is what we call a statement. So you get a statement in the mail, and it tells you what all you purchased your stuff on. So real quick, we're going to kind of look at this and minimize. So if I'm looking at a credit card, pull up some images here. You've probably seen them. They're a plastic card that looks like this, and they have 16 digits except for American Express, which looks a little different, but that's fine. And your credit card will say like what establishment it's with. Like Capital One has a credit card. American Express is a credit card. British Airways, say you have one for airplane mileage, it will say credit somewhere around there. Okay, but do you see it is a plastic card? However, a debit card looks exactly the same. However, there is one difference. It will have the person's bank, the banking institution that will be on there. And somewhere on there, it may say debit. Okay, so that is the way you know the difference between the debit and the credit card is one has the banking, like physically you can look at the differences because one will have the bank's name on it and it may say debit somewhere. Credit cards will not. Now, if you look at the back of them, they all look the same. Back of a credit card. Okay, so the back of a credit card and the back of a debit card are exactly the same. You have this black magnetic strip. You have this hologram. You have the security code. It's normally 3 digits. And you have a little place to sign. Okay, so all banking cards, debit cards, credit cards, all look pretty much the same on the back. The one thing with a debit card and a credit card, you want to keep them protected. Therefore, you want to make sure that they're put up. They're not just laying around for someone to take. You make sure that that PIN number is personalized. You keep that to yourself or, keep it somewhere where you know what the PIN number is. So no one can go in, take your debit card, put it in, and put in your PIN number. Okay. Those are some things that you want to keep to yourself. Okay. So that is the difference between a debit and credit card physically. Now, logistically, a debit card, again, is deducted immediately from your account, while credit card, at the end, you get a statement. And we're going to talk about a statement. So we're going to talk about a credit card statement. Now, a statement is just a rundown of everything that you purchased that month on that card. How many times you swiped it? What did you use it on? So I'm trying to find a good example here. So this is a picture of a statement, a credit card statement. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, as you see, it has the date. All right, it has the date of when you swipe the card and purchase the stuff. And here is a rundown of what it looks like. Actually, this looks more like a hospital bill. How to read your medical bill. Never mind. Wrong thing. Looks very much similar. It has dates and what you purchase. Okay, so let's try this again. So here's a credit card statement, or a fictitious one, your first bank. And you see how it has a reference number, when it was sold, posted, where you purchased it, and for the amount. Okay? So you'll see a statement, and it shows every time something is purchased. All right, but you'll also have this cover sheet. This is what I really wanted to look at. So you get this one page, and it tells you what your new balance is, what your minimum payment is. Okay, so we're going to talk more about this here in a second. Have your information, where to mail it to, the amount that you're going to enclose in a check or auto pay. And here's your account summary. Okay, so your previous balance was $482.42, and then you made a payment for $482.42. Then in that month, you made a purchase of $1,258. So this is what your account will be, your summary is for that month. Now, if you look a little closer, down here it shows you your credit line, meaning that this credit card company has given you $12,000 line of credit. Okay, you've used some of it, so you have a little over $10,000 left, and then you have some access to cash here. So all credit card companies are different, and the amount of available credit line is different from everybody, and it all depends on your credit score, which we'll talk more about tomorrow. So this is what I really want to talk to you about right here. So this payment information, your new balance, then when it's due, and the minimum payment, which is $25. Now, they've given you some warnings here for you to read. They used to kind of not, but they kind of started a couple of years ago with this box right here that they started adding. So late payment warnings. If you do not receive your minimum payment by the date listed, you may have to pay a late fee for up to $37. So if you forget this credit card bill, then they're going to add money to it. So you're going to have to pay more than what you originally purchased, because you'll have to pay a late fee. Now, this minimum payment warning is what I want to talk to you about. So if you make only the minimum payment each period, you will pay more in interest, and it will take you longer to pay off your balance. For example, if you do not make any additional charges and you pay only the minimum balance is $25, you will have it paid off in 7 years, and you will end up paying an estimated total of $2,017, and that is for interest only, because they're going to give you pay interest every time you don't pay it off. So it's very important for you to understand that you want to make sure you pay as much as you can on that bill if you don't have the money. So you want to make sure you pay as much as you can, because that interest piles up, and that interest is just money you're giving the bank for letting them let you borrow it. But you can pay $44. You don't have to pay the minimum. You can pay over the minimum. You just can't pay under that amount. So $44, and that will take you 3 years to pay it off, which gives you a savings of $433 than paying the minimum payment. So it's very important for you to understand that you don't want to get in credit card debt. It's hard to get out of, it's easy to get in. So don't get in it to begin with. All right, so now we're going to talk about balancing a checkbook. I'm going to go back to my document camera. And a checkbook or a check register will come whenever you open a checking account at a bank. There always puts you one in there for you to have. So your checkbook includes a check register to help you keep track of deposits, withdrawals, and transfers. Your balance tells you how much money is actually in your account. To balance your check register, you add the deposits to the balance and you subtract the withdrawals and transfers from the balance. I'm going to talk more about transfers. Okay, so say I have a checking and a savings account. And I'm 16 years old and I have a new job and I have $200 in my checking account and I have $1,000 in my savings account. Okay. Well, I have a job and I'm driving back and forth to work and a tire blows out of my car. Okay, so I have to get a new tire for my car in order to get to work so I can make money and go to school as well. So I take it into the store, take it into discount and they say, okay, well, you need the tire and you need some other tires. You need that front tire, that other tire is about to wear down and it's not safe to be on the road. So I go ahead and get 2 tires and need them, and it costs $300. Well, my checking account, I only have $200. I don't have enough money for the tires. However, I can borrow some money from my savings, which is called a transfer. So I can get into my savings account. I can take $100 out and transfer that $100 to my checking account. So then I'm left with $900 in my savings and $300 in my checking. So then I have enough to cover my tire. So that's what's considered a transfer. A transfer is, transferring is subtracting from one account and adding to the other. Adding it to another account. Okay. Now let's look. So we have a check register. All check registers are pretty much the same. You have a check number, the date that you wrote the check or had the transaction, a transaction description area, if you're depositing or if you're withdrawing, and then what the balance is. So here we have a check register that shows Annie's checking account transactions. So her beginning balance is $236.75. Then she makes a withdrawal of a deposit of $25. So I'm going to add $25 here. And now she has $261.75. Okay. Then she goes to the beauty salon. So then I'm subtracting because it's a withdrawal, $28.29. So remember, withdrawals are subtracting, deposits are adding. Okay, so then she's left with $233.46. Then she transfers some money from her checking account into her savings. Do you see transfer to savings account? So we're taking this $20 out of our checking account, putting it in savings, but that's different. That's a different register. So we need to take out $20. So I'm left $213.46. Then she makes an 18 withdrawal. So I need to subtract that $40. So then I'm left with $176.46. And because the ATM has a fee for using it, I got to dock out, I got to deduct $1. So then I'm left with $175.46. So balancing a checkbook, guys, is basically adding and subtracting. If it's deposits, we're adding. If it's withdrawals, we're subtracting. Okay. So that does it for our notes. Close out on this. Now when you go to your Google Classroom, our homework tonight is 18.1, choosing a bank. There's 2 assignments. However, you'll be working on both. Google Slides is what we're working on tonight. So go to Google Slides. Again, like our Google Slides, whenever we have one up, I can't give you another copy of it because Cami just doesn't like that. So you need to go to File. You need to go to Make a Copy, Entire Presentation. You need to rename it with your name. Okay, click OK. All right, and then it's going to come up and it's writing checks color coded. It's real simple, guys. So you're going to double click, type on the boxes for the signature box, type your own name. Do you see how purple, the date's in purple? Look at the check's date is in purple. You did it, so you need to put your name, and it's in the blue section. So there's 2 blue sections. We're going to talk about this blue section here in a minute. The pay to the order is this rose color, so we're going to put that here on the pay to order. The amount is in orange, so we're going to put the amount there in orange. And then in the memo line, we're going to write what it's for. So give me one moment and let me zoom in. Okay, so, whoops. Okay, maybe I need to stop the zoom. So in the name section, that's where I'm going to be writing my name. Normally it has your first name, your last name, and then your address. So the date of the check was what, 2/14/2017. Pay to the order of, and it went to Miss Cupid. The amount was $10. On this line, you're writing $10, and you're going to draw a line all the way to the end, all the way to the end. Okay. The memo, it was for a Valentine's party. Okay. And this last blue section is where your signature goes, Okay, so when you do this one, what I like to do is go up to the fonts, which is right up here. And it's in Arial so far, so I'm going to change it to Pacifico because that looks kind of like a signature. And I'm going to type my name. If I could spell my last name. And there, I just did my check. So you would go to the next. You have about 9 checks here. You've done the first one, so you have the other ones to go. Please make sure that you make a copy. If you are doing it with the one I've given you and you're clicking on it and you're like, nothing, I can't type on it or anything like that, it's because you have not made a copy. All right, so that does it for today. Tomorrow we're still going to be going over this on choosing a bank, and I will see you later. Bye.